22,500 people on hand at Dairy Farmers Stadium for the Queensland Derby. They've come from all around Queensland for this battle between the Cowboys and the Broncos. North Queensland, as per program, Chris Shepherd returns from injury at halfback. That means Jonathan Thurston moves to 5'8". Mitchell Sargent is on the bench in jumper number 17. The coach is Graham Murray. Brisbane Broncos are also as per program. They'll be captained once again by Darren Lockyer. Tony Carroll returns to the starting lineup in jumper number 13. He hasn't played since the Anzac Test, where he suffered a rib injury. The coach is Wayne Bennett. The Queensland Derby 2005 is underway. Josh Hannay gets boot to ball, and the Broncos defending the northern end of Dairy Farmers Stadium, and the crowd is still on their feet at the northern end, and they now sit because they are as excited about the game as I'm sure most people around Queensland in particular are, as Brad Thorne is tackled inside his 20 by Jonathan Thurston and also Paul Bowman. Lockyer, they go wide early to Carroll, straight there at O'Donnell, who comes up with a good hit. And Aaron Payne in there also. Webke runs at Payne. He's there with Shane Tronk and also O'Donnell to make the tackle. That's the 30-metre line he plays it on. Here's Sivanasiva. Rahihi is there. Webb and Tronk also, just short of the 40-metre line. This is tackle number 5 for the Brisbane Broncos. Comes back to Lockyer. Left foot kick inside his 40. Ty Williams has it covered and he juggles it twice and almost knocks it on. That puts Scott Minto onside, who made the tackle. Now it comes to Bowman. Bowman then to Matty Bowen. And he's tackled 31 metres out from his own line.
Yeah, great start to the game. The Broncos, we're used to seeing their big men just go one up, just get those yards and get to a kick. But then in that set of 6, we saw them use the ball. They're prepared to shift it laterally. We might see a different game from the Broncos here tonight.
Southern at 8 metres short of the halfway line. Cowboys into the field. Quick play the ball. Here's Tronk. Bounces it. Sivanasiva is upended also there by Brad Thorne. Into Broncos territory. Last tackle here for the Cowboys. Payne kicking from acting half. It's between Bott and also Carmichael Hunt, but it was an awkward bounce in the end, tied it up nicely by Bott, who's immediately hit by Matt Singh. Over the top comes Steve Southern, and Josh Hannay's in there as well. Berrigan almost burrowing his way through. Looking for a quick play. The ball. It was a surrender tackle. That's why the Cowboys were able to hold on. Couldn't quite hear what Russell Smith was saying. He did say it was a surrender. Tony Carroll up towards the 40. Jonathan Thurston now with the tackle. Barry Berrigan to Lockyer with a dummy. What about the hit from Luke O'Donnell? We speak about all these Queenslanders striving for State of Origin selection, but O'Donnell is in the 30-man New South Wales squad, and there's a changeover. Brett Seymour mustn't have known it was the last. He looks around quizzically, and the Cowboys come up with possession. A full set of 6 inside the Broncos territory.
Great turnover there from the Cowboys. First 2 sets of the Broncos, they're willing to shift it like Greeny said. But at the end of both those sets, they didn't get really good field position. So it's 1-0 so far to the Cowboys, and with their first set where they put the Broncos in their corner.
Rahihi will play it. Now it comes to Shepherd. Back from injury. Now Hannay tries to push away from Berrigan, who holds onto the left leg. And the crowd was after a penalty, not forthcoming. Thurston inside to Tronk. Barry Berrigan makes the tackle. Shane Webke was around the legs. Now it comes to Payne from acting half, who tries to find a gap in the middle of the ruck. There's none there. Thurston. Now to Matty Bowen. Here's danger for Brisbane. The kick, O'Donnell chasing. Carmichael Hunt almost had an air swing over the dead ball line. 20-metre restart, a goal line dropout. It's going to be a goal line dropout.
Does that mean play on, but all onside? All right, mate.
Carmichael Hunt got there in the end, only just.
He's almost willing that ball over the dead ball line, then in the end having to force it dead. Good result for the Cowboys, forcing a goal line dropout.
Lockyer with the restart. Here comes Tronk. Who's he going to run out this time? Brad Thorne, Tony Carroll. The other option was Webke or Sivanasiva. Take your pick. Now Rahihi. He runs at Seymour. Tony Carroll is around the leg. Webke coming in a little bit late. May have been penalised for a flop. Rahihi certainly trying to milk it. Thurston. Now it comes to Webb, trying to bounce away. Gets the offload away in the end to Payne. And Barry Berrigan makes the tackle. They're inside the 20 now, the Cowboys. Right in front of the uprights. Option left and right, they go right. Here's Matty Bowen to the line with a dummy. Straight past Sivanasiva. And Matty Bowen has scored a Matty Bowen special. The Cowboys score first. It is 4 points to 0 with a kick to come. You must watch Matty Bowen, particularly inside your own 10.
Well, there we saw it there. Quite often we see big man and little man, but there, Matty Bowen just getting on the outside of Petro Sivanasiva. A beautiful show to his outside man, forcing the players just to think about his support, slicing through Matty Bowen. Great pace off the mark. And a good North Queensland try.
And a dream start for the North Queensland Cowboys. But it was a dream start for them last week against Parramatta. Hannay adds the extras at 6-0 after 5 minutes. It was 6-0 early against Parramatta also. They got beaten by 50.
With Chris Shepherd coming back into this North Queensland side, I was a bit concerned that Matty Bowen wouldn't have as many opportunities to do that, but he showed early on in this game he's prepared to get in there at first receiver because he does have the skill to play in the halves.
Almost did a David Peachy there also in putting the ball very close to the dead ball line. Here's Lockyer with the restart. Thurston trapping it and finding Tronk. Brad Thorne meets him, so too Webke and Carroll. Inside the 20 he'll play it. And so North Queensland. It all came from that changeover inside their own half too, where Seymour was tackled in possession on the last.
Maybe Brett Seymour didn't understand Russell with his accent.
An arm in the air is an arm in the air. Here's Matty Bowen again to Singh, trying to get on the outside of Bott. He came back inside. Bott missed the tackle, but it was tidied up by Lockyer. Shepherd, Tronk, Thurston. They've got numbers. Webb goes back away from O'Donnell and also Bowman and loses the football. And now Brisbane get possession, something they haven't had for a few sets.
It's a problem with the Cowboys now. Last week was the Parramatta was the same. They got to an early try. First 15 minutes they dominated. Then they started coming up with silly decisions in their offloads. Just hope they're not going to go along those lines tonight.
Good tackle. The man being put on his backside, Justin Hodges, by Josh Hannay. Carmichael Hunt gets up and goes again. Southern there to make the tackle. Payne in there also. Here's Brad Thorne. Towards the 30 he goes. Lumbers at Tronk. He wraps him up with some assistance from Webb. 25 metres out. Berrigan darting from acting half. Now Lockyer. Lockyer finds Seymour. Seymour had numbers on his outside but couldn't offload. The Cowboys were stretched a little bit. Last tackle here for Brisbane again. Lockyer. Here's a tester off the side of the boot though. Will Hannay play it? Bott is there. They watch it. Bott's knocked it forward and Singh comes up with it.
It's no surprise to see Darren Lockyer going for the high ball there. We've seen in recent weeks Matty Bowen a little bit tentative under the high ball. So that is one thing. Although it come off the side of the boot, they'll probably look to test him out tonight.
And the Cowboys going wide early. The pass not finding its intended target of Ty Williams, but bouncing nicely for Paul Bowman. This is Williams, tackled there by Tony Carroll, Petro Sivanasiva, and Shane Webke assisting also. Payne out of acting half. Inside to Thurston. Seymour with the tackle. Sivanasiva over the top. Here's Rahihi. Away from Thorne. Able to offload. Back to Carl Webb. Up towards the halfway line. Well, the worst team in the NRL, the the Broncos, in stopping offloads. Hannay. Now it comes to Singh. He kicks towards the centre. Carmichael Hunt's knocked it on. Well, Leon Bott's a mile offside. And he's been penalised.
Hang on. Whoa. Man in front's offside.
Paul Rahihi says we'll take the 2.
Goal.
It's no surprise to see Carmichael Hunt attacking that football. He's a very confident young lad. And 9 times out of 10, he probably would have cleaned that up. But enterprising play from the Cowboys, showing they're prepared to take their chances on the last play. But as I said, Carmichael Hunt trying to take the half volley, just couldn't control it.
So here's Hannay, 6-0 the score at the moment. This will be a handy couple of points to take it out to 8. The Broncos, second worst in the NRL in conceding the offloads, only the Tigers worst. And they're worst in the NRL and actually offloads themselves. Here's Hannay. Has he hooked it too much? It's off the post, back in the field to play. Carroll can't get it, and Carmichael Hunt tidies up on this occasion. In fact, it's Hodges. Well, that was almost disaster there for Brisbane. As Scott Minto is heavily tackled, Bowman around the legs, Payne over the top. Here's Sivanasuva. Up towards the 30. Now it comes to Webke at Payne, who holds on up high. And Rahehe comes in to assist. Shepherd was around the legs. 10 metres short of the halfway line. Berrigan going the blind side. It comes to Thorne. He goes over the halfway line by about 5 metres and is finally tackled. Around the legs was Payne again. Tronk in there also. Last tackle, Lockyer, ordinary pass. Not a great kick, but it could be dangerous. Well done, Chris Shepherd. He put his body on the line, but also tidied up a very difficult ball.
Yeah, Chris Shepherd, as you said, put his body on the line. That could have been disaster for the Cowboys. There was 3 or 4 Broncos players bearing down on him. In the end, just deciding to dive on the football.
I'm not used to seeing the Brisbane Broncos kicking game be so average at the moment. Caught on the last tackle on one occasion. A kick off the side of the boot from Lockyer on another. Bad pass and a wobbly old kick then.
Well, the interesting thing there was it was Carl Webb putting the pressure on Darren Lockyer. I mean, normally Carl Webb, he'd be thinking, right, I'll get back to take some hit-ups. You know, they are full of enthusiasm tonight, the Cowboys.
Dominant.
Last tackle here for the Cowboys. They haven't made too many metres. Slowish play the ball because it was a dominant tackle, says the referee. Shepherd with the kick. And what a beautifully weighted kick it is also. Carmichael Hunt does tremendously well to bring the ball back past Singh. An ordinary chase from the Cowboys turns what should have been a great kick into an ordinary one.
And it's a great treasure to have a good fullback behind you. And like Greeny touched on, a very confident kid for his age of 18 to be able to put a play on like that. As Justin Hodges struggles to get through the tackle of Luke O'Donnell. But like I said, Carmichael Hunt very confident, and it's just great to have a person like that behind your line.
Tony Carroll hit again by Luke O'Donnell, who's come up with a few bell ringers. Ty Williams in a bit of trouble for the Cowboys. A right shoulder problem on this left wing. He seems to have recovered slightly, but he was certainly holding his shoulder after that tackle he just made on Hodges. As Thorne plays it. Now it comes back to Lockyer. There's a better kick from Darren Lockyer, but Matty Bowen on the fly and returning it with a bit of interest. He tries to get on the outside of Bott, who comes up with the tackle. Now Singh. He barely had a chance to catch our breath. The only opportunity has been the kicks at goal from Hannay.
Yeah, it's been a crackerjack start to this game. But I tell you what, the Cowboys want to be careful pressuring Darren Lockyer. If you force him into running it on the last, he can hurt you.
Payne out of acting half, just one marker. Tony Carroll over the top, Sivanasuva around the leg. Now it's a quick play the ball. Here's Ty Williams. He's got Thurston there. They almost ran into each other. Last tackle. 35 metres out from the Brisbane line. Matty Bowen pointing directions. It goes to Shepherd. They're going to kick it. Bouncing it was Bott and also Carmichael Hunt. And he's going to be first in goal. Well, I'll ask the question, why didn't one of them catch it on the full?
Yeah, 2 young players back there, and obviously just miscommunication, but you can see the different options that the Cowboys are using. They've got Matty Bowen as a kicker. They've got Payne from dummy half. As we see it here, letting the ball bounce is one of the biggest injustices you can do, and they've got a range of kickers, the Cowboys. They're using them smartly with Shepherd at the moment. Then they can go to Bowen, then they can use Payne. At the moment, the Broncos are just using Darren Lockyer, so there can be a lot of pressure put on Darren.
Lockyer with a restart. Matty Bowen looking for Tronk, who had almost overrun him. Now he links up with him. And Tronk takes it back to the 30. Thought he almost lost it there. The Broncos spending most of the game in their half at the moment, 65%. And the possession certainly in favour of the North Queensland Cowboys, and they lead by 6. Thurston back on the inside was Webb. Thurston through the dummy. Webb taken on suspicion. Thurston will play it. 11 metres out from the line. Shepherd. Now Matty Bowen again. He's with him. David Stagg makes the tackle. He wasn't going to miss him on this occasion. 10 metres away from the goal line. It comes to Shepherd. Shepherd goes back towards the ruck. Shane Tronk, Barry Berrigan tries to wrap him up and achieves so with the assistance of David Stagg. Payne, quick hands there to Bowen. Southern was in front of him. Hannay kicks straight to Bott. Now it's a foot race. Leon Bott is a quick man.
Penalty.
Has come up. The referee's blown his whistle. Now he blows it again a bit harder. Thank you, Russell.
Darren, you were in front and he was involved. I waited for an advantage, it didn't accrue. Hang on, mate. He was in front, Darren. I waited for an advantage and he didn't get any, so I've come back and penalise you. Offside. Off you go.
Darren Lockyer inside the 10, a big call. And Strunk is almost going to barge his way over. And they hold him up half a metre out from the goal line. Rahihi runs the decoy. Shepherd, Thurston, they've got numbers lining up. And Webb with a tackle made by Seymour, knocked him to the ground. 9 metres out from the goal line. It comes now to Shepherd. Shepherd to Rahihi. Dummies the run around back to Shepherd and takes the tackle 8 metres away from the goal line in front of the left-hand upright. Payne to Webb, he's lost the ball. And it's been picked up by Carmichael Hunt. And the Broncos breathe a huge sigh of relief.
Oh, big let-off there for the Broncos. They are under enormous pressure. But that play there with Carl Webb, look for that tonight because that is a favourite play of him. He lurks around shallow on the try line, trying to catch the defence asleep, thinking that the ball's going to go behind him. And a little short pass right on the try, and he's very hard to stop there. Big, powerful man he is.
Stagg. There's an injury to Hannay. Josh Hannay can't get up at the moment. They're one short down that right-hand side for the Cowboys. As Thorne plays it, Hannay's done his shoulder. He's in all sorts of trouble. Barry Berrigan trying to link up with someone. Payne makes the tackle. Josh Hannay, I think, has dislocated his shoulder. The trainer calling for attention. Seymour puts it high. Difficult kick here for Matty Bowen. He's under it and takes it well. Sean Berrigan came bearing down. The trainer's calling for assistance. No one's coming out. The game continues. Billy Johnson's coming down to try and get hold of the referee. And there he is with that left shoulder, obviously, I would suggest, dislocated. The doctors finally got out there. Russell Smith's not aware. Billy Johnson's told the touch judge. And it's the Cowboys in possession, so they're the ones that aren't going to get the benefit. And now Russell Smith's been told.
Man here, boys.
And he's in a fair amount of pain, Josh Hannay. And this is how it happened. He went in to make the tackle. Got himself in the wrong position because he made the tackle with his right shoulder, but it's his left one,
boys, if you can, please,
that's causing the problem. Plenty of pain there for Josh Hannay. That means the goal-kicking responsibilities will be thrust to Jonathan Thurston. And that could prove a key moment also. Tackle number 4. As Hannay comes off. Rod Jensen is the replacement. And jumper number 14. That also means that he won't have the impact coming off the bench into the back row that he normally does. Out at right centre as Hannay goes straight into the dressing rooms. Here's Thurston kicking inside the 40. Didn't quite get it, but it's an awkward one for Bott because it was spiralling differently to the way a ball normally travels. He's able to catch it and return it to the 30. What it also meant is the players now just got a little bit of a breather halfway through the first half. You see Justin Smith is also on for the Cowboys. Carl Webb, the man replaced. Simon Asiva plays it. This is Seymour offloading to Thorne, runs at O'Donnell. He stops him. Now he comes in to assist. That's tackle number 4 for Brisbane. They're 40 metres away from the Cowboys line. Barry Berrigan finds Lockyer. Lockyer now to Hodges. Ty Williams comes in off his wing, wraps him up initially, and Bowman comes in to finish it off. Last tackle. Lockyer puts it very high under pressure from Paul Bowman. This is a tough one for Matty Bowen. He does very well.
Great take, Matty Bowen, because that was an ugly spiralling torpedo, and they are almost, it'd be impossible for me to catch, but Matty Bowen, he didn't have too much trouble with it.
Like you said, Greeny, I think they've probably got to change their technique now. He's taken the first 3, and he probably will get a little bit of confidence now, and he'll be probably confident all night. So I think they should put them in the corners like you touched on earlier.
Tronk plays it. This is Smith. 25 metres out from his own line. Rahihi now. Southern runs with him. Throws the dummy. Tony Carroll with the tackle. Last tackle here for the Cowboys, deep inside their own territory. Shepherd kicks from inside the 40. Leon Bott gets back there. 40-20. Geez, that ball could have bounced anywhere. But Bott has it covered in the end and returns it back to the 20-metre line, where he's met by Jensen and Matt Singh.
Like I said, Rod Jensen's probably not going to have the impact that he has off the bench, but he offers a lot of enthusiasm when he comes on, whatever position he takes. And just then he's obviously, as Scott Minto breaks away.
Out of acting half, a missed tackle there, and he almost scooted to the other end of the field. And plays it 5 short of the halfway line. Seymour throws the dummy. Webke was there, penalty.
Steve Southern.
First penalty of the night for Brisbane. Here comes Paul Rahihi.
Yeah, Steve Southern, that was all. Okay. I will, Paul. Okay.
Wait. 20 right and free.
Paul Rahihi complaining about some things going on the tackle there. So Russell Smith. And Darren Lockyer finds a touch just short of the 20-metre line. Best opportunity of the night so far for Brisbane as Sivanasiva bursts through the tackle of Payne and Rahihi. He's still going, Petro Sivanasiva. He's almost going to reach out. His arm was pinned there by O'Donnell. He couldn't do it. Now Barry Berrigan from acting half. Threw a couple of dummies and Rahihi came up with a tackle and the crowd roars at Dairy Farmers Stadium. It comes to Lockyer. Webke on his inside. He goes out to Sean Berrigan, who slips and Shepherd makes a tackle and he lost the football. The Cowboys hold, and they will get the loosened feed.
I think they went 1-2 early. I don't think Darren Lockyer was quite ready for it then. It's no surprise that they've come back to Sean Berrigan, as I mentioned. So we see the little knock on. Just forcing the mistake there. Great defence from the Cowboys. It's no surprise, as I said, that they're going to Berrigan. He is their go-to man and can sniff a try.
Jensen. Upended, placed in the turf by Tony Carroll. Carmichael Hunt there also. Now Thurston stepped, and he slipped as Seymour slipped at the same time, and he came up with a tackle. O'Donnell hit by Tony Carroll again. Shane Webke in there also. 30 metres out from his own line. Here's Tronk. Southern, that ball was forward. The referee said no, didn't get a call from the touch judge. It would have been line ball at best, I'd suggest. Now Bowen from inside his 40. Minto's not back there. Carmichael Hunt's got some work to do. He's not going to make it. That's a 40-20. Magnificent kick from Matty Bowen. A 40-20 for the North Queensland Cowboys. And Matty Bowen has had a couple of them so far this season. Minto wasn't back there. Carmichael Hunt couldn't get there. And Matty Bowen has come up with a 40-20.
Well, I think you'll find that's his second for the season, Matty Bowen, but can't he do it all? Matty Bowen scoring a try already, getting into first receiver, but the thing there is he had plenty of support on his outside, so Scott Minto couldn't drop back. If they put it through the hands, they were going to be in all sorts, but great play by Matty Bowen.
That's his second for the year. Here's Thurston. Now Jensen, straight past Carmichael Hunt. David Stagg made the tackle. Matty Bowen from acting half, looking for O'Donnell. Hitting a solid tackle this time by Petro Sivanasiva and also Barry Berrigan. Plays the ball back. Payne, Shepherd, inside is Tronk. Sivanasiva stands there and makes the tackle. 5 metres out from the goal line. Tronk plays it. It comes to Payne. Slowish play the ball, awkward one for Payne, so he had to take a dart himself. Southern goes into acting half. Tackle number 4. It comes back to Bowen. Bowen now to Bowman. Bowman's got Hodges in front of him, runs away from him. Seymour with a tackle. It comes back to Paul Bowman on the ground, 6 to go. I'm not sure that was played at by Brisbane. The referee says it was. Mitchell Sargent now on the field and he's tackled. 5 metres out from the goal line. Payne is at acting half. Matty Bowen's lurking. It'll go to Shepherd. Shepherd now across field to Justin Smith. The run around back to Shepherd. Thurston, quick hands. Out to Matt Singh for the corner. Leon Bott slides and makes the tackle. 5 metres out from the goal line. Now Jensen goes down a short blind. Can't get the ball over the line. Lockyer was there. Also Sean Berrigan. Now it comes to Thurston. Thurston to Shepherd. Inside goes Tronk. Outside to Matty Bowen with a juggle. Now inside to O'Donnell. Tony Carroll throws an arm out. Grabs him around the leg. It comes back to Bowen. Bowen steps around Barry Berrigan. Now he's away from Webke. Tony Carroll obstructed. The referee says penalty. They play on. Matty Singh drops it. But it was an obstruction on Tony Carroll, and the Broncos defence holds.
Well, great pressure, great excitement there, but isn't that a let-off for the Brisbane Broncos side? Lucky in a way, I think, because they got a tough call against Barry Berrigan. I don't believe he played at the football, but Russell Smith said 6 to go. And there we just saw a penalty there for obstruction. Great let-off for Brisbane. If you're a Brisbane supporter, breathe a sigh of relief.
Best part about Brisbane, Greenie, is probably watching on TV, you're probably thinking they're under a lot of pressure, and they are in a sense, but they never lose their patience, do they? They remain intact and they keep their line, and they all move together forward. No one breaks the chain, and you know against a team like the Cowboys, you're breaking the chain, you're messing with danger, and it's the best part about this Brisbane side.
They keep turning up for each other too. You know you've got your inside covered.
And the Broncos certainly milking it there. Darren Lockyer taking his time to find touch. Russell Smith calling time off, and the Cowboys saying why? Make them actually play. Now it comes to the new man on the field, Corey Parker for Brisbane. Having a breather is Brad Thorne. Now it comes from Webke. And Webke is tackled, a couple of metres short of halfway. Now Parker. Bowman with the tackle. 41 metres out from the Cowboys line. Barry Berrigan out of acting half. Tony Carroll, great tackle. Steve Southern. Drove in with the shoulder around the thighs. And also in there, Luke O'Donnell and Tronk. Now he gets to his feet. Seymour runs to the line. Last tackle here for the Brisbane Broncos. Darren Lockyer goes into first receiver. He puts the ball to the wing of Matty Singh. Here comes Botten Berrigan. Singh can't get it. Matty Bowen does though. Steals it out of midair. David Stagg thought he had a try. And Matty Bowen tidies up for the North Queensland Cowboys.
Good attacking kick there from Darren Lockyer. Like we said, he's been putting the spirals up, and Matty Bowen's been pretty comfortable with them. He's a nice control kick to his wingers there. Matty Bowen just once again just plucked it out of the air on the bounce with one hand, and straight away on the attack. You just can't rest against these guys like Ty Williams and Matty Bowen.
The thing about that kick, it was pinpoint accurate, right on the try line. If they catch it, it was going to be a dropout.
Ty Williams. 25 out from his own line. Last tackle. It's been heavy work here for the Cowboys. Shepherd, now Thurston, they're going to run it on the last inside their own territory. Shepherd with the juggle, back to Williams off legs. Tronk now kicks it, and in the end, David Stagg picks it up at his own end of the field. They must all be in front of him. The referee says now play on. He went 10 metres, he ran across field, put the ball onside, but were they inside that 10-metre area? Anyway, the Broncos in possession with Scott Minto. Now here's Hunt, falls at the feet there of Paul Bowman. Surrender, says the referee. Hodges. Sargent with the tackle. Paul Bowman there as well. Still 12.5 minutes to go until half-time. Petro Sivanasiva coming from the field. Neville Costigan coming on. Now the kick. Bowen is back there. He's got some work to do as well. Straight past Berrigan. Straight past Bott. David Stagg to beat. Steps inside him. Bott comes again to make the tackle with Corey Parker.
Once again, another good kick from Darren Lockyer. Nice and pinpointed into the corner. But you've got to have more than one chaser on a person like Matty Bowen. You've got to have a straight line of 3 or 4 players who will hurt you.
Shane Tronk coming off. So one big forward having a breather for the Cowboys. Thurston, they're starting to play a little bit of touch football here, the Cowboys. They've got no big men on the moment to go forward. Sargent decides it's his turn. Rod Jensen almost through. Parker with the tackle, 5 short of halfway. Ty Williams pushes away from Costigan. Now the tackle is made by Seymour. Here's the last tackle. Payne, there's a chance down this short side. It comes to Carl Webb. Last tackle. Does he know he can't get it away? Changeover. Second changeover of the night, 1 each.
Yeah, not the fifth tackle option that the Cowboys would be looking for. I think they're just caught up in the excitement of the game a bit at the moment. They've got to settle down, get back to the game plan, kick to the corners, keep the pressure on.
Parker. Pushes away from Smith. Now Lockyer out to Sean Berrigan. Now to Bott. Matt Singh to beat. He can't beat him. Throws the ball back inside, but it doesn't matter. He had his foot on the touchline anyway.
It's twice now Leon Bott's got into open space. Obviously the first time was for the penalty that was called back, but he's up against another speed man in Matty Singh, and you can't mess with that sideline, especially with an experienced player like Matty Singh. He's got to use, I know he's only young and he's learning the ropes as we go, but he's also got to think about it's only probably the third or fourth tackle, and they've got another a couple of tackles up their sleeve.
That's true, I agree with you there, Scott, but in saying that, Leon Bott, he has got express pace. And Matty Singh, I know he's very experienced, I'm sure he knows what he's doing, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be giving him too much space on the outside.
Here's Sargent. Solid tackle from Seymour initially, and then also Neville Costigan coming in. Ty Williams out of acting half. He pops it back to Thurston. Costigan's made 3 in a row. Payne inside to Sargent. Make it 4 in a row for Costigan. Shepherd. Webb coming back on the angle again. Is that 5 in a row for Neville Costigan?
Great effort, Neville.
Pops it back to Ty Williams. Now it goes to the number 9, Aaron Payne. 41 metres away from the goal line. Last tackle, Thurston. Ty Williams has knocked it on. Did it go back? The referee says it doesn't matter because the Broncos have come up with it through Barry Berrigan, and so another set comes to nothing for the Cowboys.
Well, that's the third set out of the last 4 or 5 that they haven't got to a kick, and it's always happened on this left-hand side of the Cowboys field because they've got right foot kickers and they're running out of space on this left-hand side and they can't get to that right foot. Earlier on in the game, they were getting the kicks on the right-hand side, so they're being able to put those kicks in the corner. So, like Greeny touched on, they've got to get back to what's worked in the start of this game.
Lockyer. Now Seymour popping it for Tony Carroll. Good tackle, Thurston around the legs. Over the top was Paul Bowman. Now Seymour on 5 to Lockyer. Kicks it high again. This time it's between Singh and Bowen. Who wants it? Shepherd's come up with it. Somehow. He was back there for protection, but the ball landed in his arms. Smith. Aaron Payne coming from the field for the Cowboys. David Faumu getting ready to come on as O'Donnell is tackled. And Faumu is on in jumper number 15. Southern. There's Aaron Payne coming from the field. All the players working hard tonight.
We talk about Rod Jensen making an impact off the bench. David Faumu over the last few weeks coming off the bench, his footwork has created a lot of havoc around the rucks. The Broncos got to be aware.
Inside the 40 again, it's going towards the touchline. Minto has it covered on his own goal line though. A terrific kick, and the chase is pretty good from the Cowboys. Faumu led the way. Carmichael Hunt is the only one back there for Brisbane. He has to run from acting half. They are taking their time to get back there, the Broncos. Now Hodges. Thurston is away from him. Bowman with the tackle. Shane Webke having a breather for the Broncos. Now Seymour. Long ball to Lockyer. Cuts out Stagg to Sean Berrigan. Steps inside Jensen, who grabbed the jumper, and with the assistance of Shepherd makes the tackle about 8-9 metres into Cowboys territory. Now Seymour had to jump for it. Dummy throws, and it's taken the tackle by Shepherd and also Southern. Last tackle here for the Broncos again. Lockyer. Left foot, wobbly old kick from Matty Bowen. Can he get to it? He does. Terrific take from Matty Bowen. Then away from Tony Carroll, away from Costigan, but couldn't get away from Casey Maguire.
Gee, I tell you what, Darren Lockyer, great take by Matty Bowen. Darren Lockyer is really testing him out, putting up some of those shonky spiralling torpedo bombs, and they are, as I said earlier, very difficult to kick, especially on the run, but great work by Matty Bowen.
You count yourself lucky if you caught one of them. He's caught all of them. Faumu, tackle by David Stagg. Sargent up towards the 40. 10 short of the halfway line. Last tackle here for the Cowboys. Shepherd under pressure from Lockyer. Kicked it into his back, not played at. Costigan is back there.
Darren Lockyer in front again. Called in front, Darren. Don't contest it, mate. Don't contest it. It was called in front, Darren.
Darren Lockyer called offside. You don't often see Darren Lockyer penalised in games. twice for inside the 10.
He's very quick off the mark too, Darren Lockyer. So I'd be surprised. He's too experienced to do that. I'm very surprised for him to give 2 penalties away in that, especially giving the Cowboys a bit of a let off.
Wait till he plays it. Now go.
Sargent.
That's one. Movement. That's square. Go.
Opportunity here for the Cowboys. It's only 6-0. 6 minutes until half-time. Ball back from Webb. Now to Bowen. Bowen tries to get away from the tackle there of Seymour. Couldn't quite do it. May have been injured in the tackle or just slow to his feet. Thurston to Bowman. He's lost it. Scott Minto. Now here's a race. Shepherd across in cover. And also Thurston brings Minto to ground.
Another let-off there for the Broncos. But Scotty Minto, good decision then. He knew he had the cover coming across. Takes a smart option. Gives his chance some more possession as we see an overlap.
Now Bott. They won't have the pace to get him more though. Justin Smith does. And takes him into touch. He's a back rower, isn't he, Justin Smith? I know he plays in the centres occasionally, but Leon Bott, I thought, was gone.
Justin Smith, take a bow. That is a great chase. I think Leon Bott, he was a little bit worried about Justin Smith coming. He should have just pinned his ears back. He's got him covered for pace. But unfortunately for Leon, going into touch when the Broncos had some great momentum.
Hold the line, boys. Broncos back 3, stay in the pack till it's out. Tony! Tony!
What did he say?
Keep 5.
Oh, no.
Stay
Never
short,
trouble.
stay in. Hold. Out.
Now the Cowboys inside the final 5 before half-time, and they seem to say it every week. So many tries are scored in this time of the game, and it's 6-0. It would be a critical score if it was the Cowboys. Webb. 9 short of halfway. When you consider the possession is 60-40 to the Cowboys, the Broncos will be delighted again at half-time, only trailing by 6. Bowen. Now Thurston. Dummies inside to O'Donnell, then gives it to him. He moves away from Carroll. Was able to get his pass away under pressure in the tackle of Costigan. Linked up with Bowen, who was tackled there by Parker. Here's Faumu. Runs at Stagg, who makes the tackle. Last tackle here, 20 metres out, right in front of the sticks. Now Shepherd. He puts the kick high to Leon Bott. He leaps and takes it well. Not the world's best kick from Chris Shepherd, but at least they got their kick away on this occasion.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great take there from Leon Bott. He's not the tallest of men, but like we touched on earlier on, the Broncos aren't panicking in their defence.
Brad Thorne getting ready to come back on. As Berrigan slips out of acting half, gets up and goes again, and picks up 12 metres. No one there in support. He takes the tackle. Here's Lockyer. Dummied and then turned it inside to Neville Costigan, who wasn't really expecting the football. I think they're just looking forward to half-time at the moment, the Broncos. They've done a mountain of defensive work. Last tackle, Lockyer under pressure. Kicks from inside his 40. Matty Bowen on the fly inside his 20. And says to Matty, seeing your turn to have a return. And Stagg there to make the tackle. And the Cowboys players slow to get back also. And Singh was slow to his feet. Now Ty Williams. Inside his own 30. Half-time not too far away as O'Donnell takes it forward towards the 40-metre line. 2.5 minutes left. Shepherd, little chip for Matty Bowen. He couldn't get through. Bounce important. Who has it? Lockyer. Knock on. I don't know whether it hit the ground, but the referee was only 3 metres away and a penalty. Well, the referee was right there. Maybe when he dragged it back in, it might have hit the ground.
It's gone backwards. No way that's a knock on.
No, but anyway.
That's all, boys. Wait, go.
Darren Lockyer penalised for the back chat and puts his team under a little bit of pressure. Well, that tells you, I believe, because he's not that sort of player, Darren Lockyer, that tells you what he thinks of the decision.
Carl Webb back to Shepherd, now to Sargent. And Sargent plays it, 25 out. Thurston to O'Donnell. Now Faumu up towards the 20.
Marcus! Keep coming! Go!
Shepherd to Webb. And Webb finds himself just 10 metres away and lost the football. He lost it. He tried to get his arms free. The Broncos didn't strip it. The ball came out in the tackle. And so the Cowboys have wasted another opportunity. Only lead by 6. They've got less than a minute to go. Brisbane will be reasonably pleased.
Also, they'll be very pleased coming in with the deficit only being 6, because the Cowboys have had all the ball so far this half, 60% of possession.
Carmichael Hunt makes the break. Bowen to beat. He steps straight into him. 5 metres short of the halfway line. Well, it's almost been 3 halves of football since Brisbane has scored in Townsville as Berrigan turns the ball over. It's almost like a replay of the playoff last year that the Cowboys won 10-0. Jensen. Ball out the back. It comes to Smith. Tries to link with Matty Singh. He does. And Singh is tackled. 15 seconds out from the break. Shepherd. Thurston. Cut-out ball to Bowman. Scott Minto is up quickly, but he pops it back to Thurston. Is he going to kick? Dummies two, throws the dummy himself, pops it back to Shepherd. He then taps it back to Carl Webb. Carl Webb straightens the attack. Out the back it comes from Faumu. Picked up by Rod Jensen. Jensen now gives the ball to Bowen. Bowen steps, can't get his arms free. Will play the ball on the 20-metre line. That must be half-time. He's lost the football. Has the siren gone off? Can't hear anything here. The touch judge said he has heard the siren. I felt it. I didn't actually hear it.
I can understand that you couldn't hear it. The amount of noise that's in the stadium.
Half-time at Dairy Farmers Stadium. The Cowboys 6, the Broncos 0. Russell Smith says time on for the second half, and Darren Lockyer. It's a very deep kick. Thurston under it, goes oh so close to the dead ball line. And therefore Mitchell Sargent almost had to start his run behind the advertising signs at the northern end of Dairy Farmers Stadium, which is being defended by the North Queensland Cowboys. The Broncos defending the southern end. They're starting the second half like they spent most of the first, tackling. They did a mountain of defensive work in the first half. 190 tackles to 127. Almost through Matty Bowen, who will come into his own later in the game. You'd suggest a Stag. Makes the tackle. Thurston. Quick hands there to Faumu, who's tackled right on the halfway line. Last here for North Queensland, Bowen kicking for the corner. Bott is back there, takes it on the full. And a good chase again from North Queensland as we look at the tackles he made from the Broncos so far, and Barry Berrigan already up to 30.
I'd be happy if I made 30 tackles in a game, let alone 30 tackles in a half.
Goal movement, you got to get up. No, it wasn't a goal movement.
Out of those tackle counts, you saw Brett Seymour. He's made 21 tackles in the first half, which Greenie, as you know, being the next half.
It just, you see a bit of interference there from the North Queensland Cowboys. It just takes the spark, the edge off you when you've got the ball in attack. As you can see there, the Broncos getting through 193 tackles compared to the Cowboys 120 odd. And the big thing is we'll see how the Broncos handle the back part of this game.
Thorne towards the 30. So good opportunity here for Brisbane to hit early. Casey Maguire, Tony Carroll. Taken to ground by Thurston and Luke O'Donnell. Maguire out of acting half. Now Seymour, Hodges. Oh, he'd thrown the ball, he's lost it. Ty Williams with the tackle. And Paul Bowman comes up with it.
I was going to be a little bit critical there of Justin Hodges not tipping it onto his winger, but obviously he's lost control there. But both teams have started like they started the game. They're not afraid to get a little bit of ball movement. You're seeing the Broncos starting to work up the middle there off Tony Carroll around the middle of the ruck for the Cowboys.
O'Donnell. 6-0 in this day and age with 10-metre in defence and the attacking skills of the players. To only have one try scored in the first half is something you don't see too often, particularly when one side has so much possession like the Cowboys did in that first half. Webb back to Thurston, a little bit messy here from the Cowboys. Last tackle and Thurston's playing it, so Bowen has to be the kicker. So he kicks from well within his 40. Is it over the head of Minto? Would have been over the head of Leon Bott, but Scott Minto back there and had it covered because it was looking for another 40-20. Hodges towards the 40, 10 short of the halfway line. Sivanasiva. Mitchell Sargent in there to make the tackle. Thurston there also, as well as Luke O'Donnell. Seymour, dummy and accelerating. Carl Webb with the tackle. Rahihi trying to wrap the football up. Now the ball comes out to Casey Maguire. Maguire then to Parker. And Parker bounced away from a couple. Tackle number 4 now. Lockyer looking for a runner, and it's Stagg taken by Sargent up the middle of the ruck. Last tackle here for the Broncos. Lockyer kicks to the wing of Ty Williams. Here comes Minto. Ty Williams leaps high and takes it well, but can't stay in the field of play.
A great result there for the Broncos. I thought Scott Minto was a little bit too deep. He wasn't quite there in time to put pressure on in actually contesting the football, but as it turned out, as he spun away, he used his momentum well there and forcing him into touch.
This will be the first set for the Broncos. They start inside the Cowboys 20 in the game.
Time off, please.
It'll be interesting to see how the Cowboys handle it. Most times in most games of football, the possession rates even up. So if that's going to happen in this game, you would expect that the Broncos are going to get quite a bit of possession at the start of this second half, or at some stage during this second half.
I know what you're going to say, Mark.
They're stopping the game because of Blake doing his shoes up.
The Broncos will be absolute, as Justin Hodges now starting to approach Russell Smith. I think he's realised it's a ridiculous call himself now. So
Paul Bowman's got to forget about it too, surely, and just play.
I know which way I'll be attacking right now.
Wonder where they'll go.
Now the Cowboys don't want to pack a lock because they say their play's out of it, but they do have to pack a lock. Bowman's decided to tie his shoes
Hold
up.
on a moment, please. Let's have a lock in. Right. There you go, blindside. Turn back on. Out.
Here's the Broncos. Inside the 20 on tackle 1 for the first time in the match, over the shoulder of Berrigan, and Singh wraps him up. Dominant tackle calls the referee. Lockyer. Sivanasiva at Sargent. He makes the tackle. Southern in there also. Inside the 10. Brisbane on the attack. Maguire to Stagg. Sargent is there with Southern again. 4 metres away from the goal line. Casey Maguire at acting half. Lockyer's to the left. They come that way to Sean Berrigan. Tried to step away from Singh but couldn't do so. They've got a chance down the very short blind side. And Corey Parker hit in a solid tackle there from Steve Southern.
He was
I don't
slipping
think he's going to get up.
Yeah, he was slipping in the tackle there, Corey Parker, and he's copped one around the head there from Southern.
That's 5. Hang on, mate. 7 minutes, Corey.
Actually, I don't even think he was slipping.
I want to, I need to. Yep.
Well, he hasn't missed him.
Staying
So
on.
Parker is now staying on. They're not going to take him off. Sivanasiva, another set here. Back-to-back sets. Can the Cowboys hold on, or will Brisbane level it? Here in Townsville. Maguire. Seymour. Hunt. Hodges. Well tackled there by Ty Williams, who came off his wing and wrapped him up, ball and all, leaving Scott Minto unmarked. Hunt at acting half. Had no one to pass to. Ran himself and taken in the tackle there by Paul Bowman. Couple of metres out from the goal line. Now it comes from Seymour. Long ball. Quick hands needed from Lockyer. Sean Berrigan taken to ground and a great tackle by Rod Jensen. They're holding at the moment. The Cowboys, he's lost it. He's lost the ball, Sean Berrigan. No one near him. And the Cowboys defence holds. Well, you won't see that too often from Sean Berrigan.
He's been a bit out of sorts tonight with his hands, Sean Berrigan. He's had 3 drops. One obviously has been knocked back, but then a sloppy play the ball there. They keep getting themselves in good position now, the Broncos, at the start of this half, but they're just not completing the sets properly. You know, they're not giving the ball where the Cowboys don't want it, and that's That was obviously the Cowboys' biggest problem at the midway through the first half.
33 people haven't turned up tonight. Paul Green, it's your job to find out in Townsville which 33 people aren't here. 22,477. Capacity 22,500. No, it's 23. I can't even add up. 23, not 33.
Maybe the bus from one of the pubs around here is broken down. There's 23 blokes watching it on telly.
Now he's lost it. Carl Webb, 10 short of halfway.
Well, Sean Berrigan, he'll be breathing a sigh of relief there.
Just a sloppy play, the ball, and now the Broncos.
Queensland
With an opportunity.
We stay until the ball's clear.
Someone's just kicking the ball away from Thurston. Got it for Brett Seymour. That wouldn't happen too often. One halfback giving it to another.
That's unheard of. I'll have to have a talk to him after the game.
Hodges. Taking the ground there by Bowman. Sivan Asiva. Solid tackle from Carl Webb, trying to make up for the error. Also in there is Aaron Payne. Thorne. This is Seymour. Inside of Tony Carroll. Paul Rahihi had read it well. Inside the 20 they go. Maguire dumbing inside to Seymour, going outside to Hodges. Tries to push away from Thurston. Gets an unbelievable kick there, and Matty Bowen tied it up just ahead of Scott Minto. Well, he was down on one knee, tackled, and only had one hand free, but got a kick away.
Yeah, great play there by Justin Hodges. As you said, he was well wrapped up there by Thurston, just putting it on the boot, seeing a bit of space in behind Ty Williams there, and Scotty Minto coming through, putting plenty of pressure on, but Matty Bowen, Johnny on the spot, taps it dead.
And that's what we talk about, giving a team the ball where they don't want it.
Time out, please.
The next best result other than a try. And now the Cowboys get to mount some more pressure.
Get him downstairs.
News from downstairs is that Josh Henne's had that shoulder put back into place.
Movement!
So it was a dislocated shoulder, as we suspected, but it's back in place. But he'll be very sore for quite some time as Thorne takes it forward. Chris Shepherd hasn't been out there for a while either. For the Cowboys, there's the penalty.
Made a movement to the head after I called the tackle.
Quick tap taken. Now comes from Seymour. It's a Lockyer. Lockyer looking for runners. Finds Carmichael Hunt Jensen with a tackle. Tackle number one, 12 metres out from the line. Can the Cowboys defence hold again? Sean Berrigan across field. Links with Seymour. Seymour throws the dummy. Pushes away from Webb. Can't get away from O'Donnell. Fayumu is there also. Sloppy play the ball. Referee says play on. Maguire now he picks it up.
They play the ball forward and not heeled it back. Play the ball forward and not heel it back.
Well, there you go. If you can understand Russell Smith. It was a pretty tough call myself. The frustrating part for the Broncos here is both times they've been down here recently, they've come up with mistakes, simple mistakes around the play of the ball. It just lets too much pressure off the opposition, especially on the back of that sort of possession count too.
Smith. Interesting that Chris Shepherd hasn't been on the field for some time, with Smith being out there playing 5'8", and Jonathan Thurston back to halfback.
Well, it's worked well for the Cowboys in recent weeks. Chris Shepherd, maybe just a little bit short of fitness. I think that was always part of the plan, only to give him 60 minutes. We'll probably see him come back on and finish the last 20.
Carl Webb plays at 5 short of halfway. Now here's Fayumu. Pops it to Thurston. Chasing him down Maguire. Matty Bowen up the middle of the ruck. He's away from Carroll. He's got 1 to beat. He's got 2 to beat now, and taken the ground by Minto. Last tackle here for the Cowboys. He's lost the ball. He lost the football again. Well, that's 4 sets in a row. It's now 2 each.
It's just the excitement of the game. Everyone's trying to play this up-tempo style of football, and they're coming up with mistakes. As we see Matty Bowen, he slice up the middle, which we thought might happen with the Broncos. The amount of work they've done in that first half, they're going to be tired. And it's the best possible chance for the Cowboys to attack in that situation.
Tell the back three just to stay until the ball's clear. Stay with him, Jonathan. Hold in, Steve.
Oh, the referee says it went back from Casey Maguire. It's certainly all happening 11.5 minutes into the second half. Well, the first team to settle down win this game. We're into the second half, not the first 10 minutes of the first half. The crowd certainly getting involved. Lockyer now to Parker. Couldn't get away from Jensen. Matty Singh coming in also with Smith and Tronk. That's tackle number 4. There's Josh Hannay. There's some ice on that shoulder. Webke at Rauhihi, who drops the shoulder and forces him back. Carl Webber's in there also. Last tackle, Darren Lockyer gets the kick. Charge down. Who can win the race? Maguire's back there. He's lost it, and it's picked up by the Cowboys.
He was in front of the man.
Penalty.
The team was in front of the man that he rebounded off. Time out, please.
They want to be careful they don't give away a penalty here, the Cowboys.
Ollie Wasball, when the ball rebounded off your player, your number 13 was quite a few metres in front of the player and interfered with the player from an offside position.
Oh, the bloke that rebounded off?
The bloke
behind the other guy?
The bloke that actually interfered afterwards was in front of the man it rebounded off, OK?
And he's 100% right too, Russell Smith.
Good decision.
Very good decision.
It's another let-off there for the Broncos, but good call by Russell Smith. The Broncos, they're just remaining patient like we talked about in the first half, and I think that can be dangerous for opposition sides.
Let's hold, boys, hold it here, wait, go!
Sivanasiva and the Brisbane Broncos have just clicked over 3 hours of not scoring a try at Dairy Farmers Stadium. Dating back for a couple of games now. Webke just short of the halfway line. Injured Cowboy in back play, I think, is Luke O'Donnell. And now they've lost the ball again. Luke O'Donnell's in a bit of strife. Justin Hodges on this occasion. There are things happening everywhere.
They're trying to chance their hand, like both teams, with big play options, and there's still a lot of time to go in this game. Get rid of the big play options, just continue to dominate possession. And the team that dominates the most possession at the end of this game is obviously going to win the game. They're going to get more ball in their hands. They're going to be able to do more with it as the other team gets tired. The Broncos, you would think, would be the tightest team of the two at the moment with the amount of work they've done.
Bowen now to Carl Webb, lurking wide. Lockyer with the tackle. Maguire there. And also Webke, who's certainly getting himself fired up. Movement, the call from the referee. Now it comes out to Jensen, onto the halfway line by a couple of metres. A little bit of feeling coming into the game as Singh takes it forward. Sivanasiva with the tackle. Shane Webke helping, so too Casey Maguire and Barry Berrigan. Now it comes from Bowen to Rauhihi. Throws the ball back. Who's there? Thurston just got his toe to it, keeps it alive. Now it's to O'Donnell, and he straightens and comes back over the halfway line.
Kept on with it, hold, go!
Shane Tronk. Sivanasiva missed the flying tackle, but taken there by Corey Parker. Last tackle. Thurston, little kick for Bowen. Now it's the pass back on the inside. He just flicks it out the back. That'll be play on. Will it find touch? It just does.
The Cowboys here, as we've said in recent weeks, when they get a bit of offload, a bit of broken play, they are very dangerous. They want to be careful. So we see them just throwing it back, knowing it's the last, and eventually kicking it into touch. They want to be careful they don't fall into the trap of pushing the offload and give Brisbane plenty of possession, because they are a good side. You give them enough possession, they will hurt you.
Steve, hold them in. Keep your 5. Get it in.
Well, they nearly got pushed off the ball. Did Maguire knock it on?
He did it, went behind him.
The referee said it went behind him.
Go.
That's 2 scrums in a row that Casey Maguire's had a little bit of trouble picking the ball up.
2, square up.
I should say Brett Seymour. Now Sivanasiva. We're about to see Darren Matt for the first time tonight for Brisbane. Costigan coming back also. Webke. Now it comes to Seymour. Is he through? He's half through. Now he's 3/4 through, but Thurston made the tackle with Justin Smith. He's tried to milk the penalty and gets it.
You've gone for a second grab on him. Yeah.
That's one of the few times we've seen that the big Broncos forwards are prepared to pass there. Shane Webke, a little second man play. So we see just the interference there on Brett Seymour, forcing the penalty. But we saw, as I said, Shane Webke going to the line, a second man play, just getting Brett Seymour the opportunity to be one-on-one. Got to do that to break this game up.
Just got a couple of penalties that are mounting around the play the ball area, Paul.
Holding down here.
Yeah, just a bit of interference. Let's take the message back to the players. Get them to tidy it up a little bit to save further problems. OK, no problem.
Chris Shepherd and Mitchell Sargent on the bench. Poor Ahihi. I doubt he'd be telling me what the referee said. He's just trying to milk a little bit of extra time to get them a few deep breaths as the Broncos will have an opportunity to try and score their first try in Townsville in over 3 hours. Darren Matt, 21 metres out from the Cowboys line. Here's Webke. Hitting a solid tackle from Jensen. Smith was around the legs. Barry Berrigan goes down the blind side. Jensen comes up with the tackle again. Southern in over the top. That's the 10-metre line he's going to play it on. Seymour, Lockyer, cuts out a ball, finds Maguire. Thurston, round the legs, pops it back to Hodges. And Hodges tries to burrow his way forward, picks up an extra couple of metres and is tackled 12 out from the goal line. Barry Berrigan to Lockyer. Lockyer looking for runners. Minto runs into the shoulder of Luke O'Donnell. Lockyer now runs to the line, kicks on the last played out. That'll be 6 to go. It came off Southern. Back to Lockyer. Offloaded to Bott. He must score. He does. Did he get it down? Did he get it down? The referee says we're going to go upstairs.
Time off, please. Yep. Just have a look, please, Steve. Go right back to the kick and just check it through, please, with particular attention to the grounding, please.
Here's the kick.
They're all onside there. His foot's on the line and all those players are behind the line.
No dramas. Here's the grounding.
That's a try.
No dramas there. The grounding. But let's just see his feet again. If Steve Clark's happy with that.
Touchy's happy with it.
I think he's happy. And I think the Broncos have scored their first try in 3 hours in Townsville. 185 minutes. And Leon Bott gets his 8th try in 10 games. And there's the try. And the Broncos are back to within 2. And Darren Lockyer, who was injured in the play, has the chance to level it up.
We've seen the possession start to sway back to the Broncos way now. 2 back-to-back sets as we see here. Good onside, putting everyone inside there, Darren Lockyer. Probably didn't realise it was still as a replay in the tackle count, I should say. Restarting the tackle count, but good finishing there from Leon Bott. Used his strength and used his power. And very close call there. Good effort from Rod Jensen also, but the youngster gets across for another try for the season.
The Cowboys fans doing their best to put him off. Here it comes. It's on its way back. It's a magnificent kick. Does it have the legs? It does. From touch, his first kick of the year, Brett Seymour. His first successful one, 6-all.
Oh, Brett Seymour. The sign of a good player is when he puts his hand up under pressure, and there's no more pressure. It's a very tight game, as we said. That kick there from the sideline for Brett Seymour, levelling the game up at 6-all.
It's a refreshing side also for Darren Lockyer, also because we know how much he doesn't like the goal kick himself, and might be some more practice for Brett Seymour with the season coming.
And how vital will be that missed penalty from Josh Hannay in the first half that hit the right hand upright. And just 3 changes left for both sides. There's still 20 minutes of play remaining. Will we see more points? Will, as this clock winds down and the heavy defence takes a toll on the frenetic pace of the game, will it open up a bit more and will we see more tries? Webke plays it. Barry Berrigan out of acting half. Tackled there by Southern. Last here for the Broncos. Casey Maguire kicking under pressure from Payne, who's back on. Bowen, will he watch it go over the dead ball line? It's not going to reach it. Hodges is chasing. Matty Bowen gets back into the field of play, only by about 1.5 meters. Here's Bowman. Deep inside their own territory, the Cowboys. 3 tackles and they can't get over the 10. 4 tackles and they've only gone 10 metres. Now Rahihi will play it eventually on tackle number 5 on the 20-metre line. Shepherd back on. Now Thurston. Thurston, they can't turn it over here. They're in trouble, the Cowboys. Bowman gets the kick away. Hunt on the halfway line. Right in centre field. So the Cowboys having to defend grimly again. The Broncos mounting some pressure.
You can just sense something building, can't you, from the Broncos? They're starting, like we said, get a lot of possession. They're getting good field position. The Cowboys not getting their sets once again at the exact same time as they did in the first half.
They came from behind against the Bulldogs. They came from behind against Cronulla. Can they come from behind against the Cowboys? Webke back to Maguire, back to Seymour, I should say, who finds Costigan. Finally driven to ground by Rauhihi. Tackle number 4. Lockyer. Matt runs the decoy. Hunt and Sean Berrigan's knocked it on. No one wants to dive on it. The Cowboys want a breather, but Shepherd has to pick it up, and that'll be 0 tackle. Tronk. How they would love a penalty. There's a big run from Shane Tronk. How they would love a penalty here, the Cowboys. Singh. There it is.
There's nothing in that.
No, a bit lower, buddy, around the neck area.
It's an ordinary penalty. That one, there was dead set nothing in that.
Who's them out, boys?
That was the penalty they were after, the Cowboys. And they just slow things down. As Paul Rahihi getting some treatment in back play for a bicep or arm problem. He's getting his right bicep strapped. Shepherd now to Southern, runs at Barry Berrigan. How many tackles has he made now? 32. Thurston. Bowen's on his inside. O'Donnell back on the angle. Stagg, he's lost it. And the Broncos have come up with possession. David Stagg standing in the way, making the tackle. Now Hodges runs at Bowman, who tries to force him over the touchline.
It's a big test for the Cowboys here with 17 minutes to play. As I said already, they've never really been in a close match. They've either won easily or they've been beaten by quite a few. It's a big test for them here tonight.
And possession evening up dramatically. It's almost 50-50 after it was 60-40 in the first half. And field position also evening up. So the Broncos dominating this second 40. Sean Berrigan back on the angle. Tackled by the big front rower, Tronk on 4. Quick play the ball to Hunt. He went left. Now goes back to the right. Seymour. He runs at Payne, just throws it out the back. Who wants it? Carmichael Hunt picks it up. He runs and straightens the attack. Thurston and O'Donnell there to bring him to ground. Last tackle here for the Broncos. Lockyer is very wide to the left. It comes to Seymour. Seymour puts the kick in. Matty Bowen has it covered. Does he know he lost it? And Shepherd throws it over the dead ball line.
There's a real chance of Chris Shepherd there actually being offside if Matty Bowen got a touch on it, but it's the only option that they could take, the Cowboys, there to get rid of it over that dead ball line.
I think the ball went backwards.
Yep.
They are just hanging on at the moment, the Cowboys. 16 minutes of play remain.
Stay behind.
Thurston. Hodges has it. 45 out and finds Webke, who launches himself at Rahihi. Bounces away and goes again and thought about the offload. 25 metres away from the goal line. The Broncos on the attack. Seymour to Darren Mapp. Inside the 20 he goes. Now Berrigan, 10 metres away. Quick play the ball. At acting half goes Seymour. Pops it out the back to Mapp. Mapp has Bowen around his legs and Tronk over the top. Berrigan. Lockyer into space goes Casey Maguire, and the Broncos are in front. Great ball from Darren Lockyer.
Darren Lockyer, that is why he is one of the best players in the world. This game is in the balance with 15 minutes remaining, 6-all. And Darren Lockyer comes up with the money ball. Casey Maguire, Johnny on the spot. And here's big Shane Webke, hasn't he? Really got stuck into the Cowboys forward pack. Just there, spinning. He's been a real handful, but as I said, you're good players. This is why they are the best players in the team. They come up with the right play, the right pass at the right time. And a big wrap here to Casey Maguire too. He knew exactly where to run.
20 metres out, about 12 metres in from this western touchline. Brett Seymour successful with his first attempt at conversion, and what a kick it was. And the Cowboys, as we mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, were just hanging on, and now Seymour has made it a converted try, the difference. They trail by 6 at half-time. They now lead by 6 as we get down to the serious end of the game. 13 and a half to go. Here it is again.
Once again, Darren Lockyer going to the line, holding the ball up. And his pass selection was outstanding there. Casey Maguire running the right lines. It's no coincidence that Broncos score most of their tries down this left-hand side. It's also where Sean Berrigan spends most of his time. Leading the NRL, as I said, on 10 tries.
60-40 the possession was at half-time. It's now 50-50. And the Broncos have now had the ball 26 times inside the 20 of the Cowboys. And at half-time, there was only a couple of tackles. Stagg across field. 9 short of halfway, Brisbane's end of the field. On 4, back to Carmichael Hunt. Is he through? There's no one in support though. Sargent held on with Tronk. Last tackle here for Brisbane. Lockyer kicks away from Bowen to the wing of Ty Williams. Nice bounce for him in the end. The chase is magnificent from the Broncos in a straight line, and plenty of them.
Well, they've lifted a gear, the Broncos, haven't they? After that last try we saw there, it would have been probably 12 Broncos down there chasing that kick.
Barry Berrigan lucky not to be penalised, and Matty Bowens tried to throw the pass, and now Brisbane will make them pay. If Hodges could have got it out to Minto, he had an uninterrupted run to the line 20 metres away. Here's Stagg. Straightening inside the 20.
That's one.
The knockout blow, is it coming here from Brisbane? Webke. 10 metres away from the goal line now. Webke will play it. Justin Smith over the top. Barry Berrigan from acting half. Back to Sean Berrigan. Sean Berrigan's only half a metre away. Can he get it down? No, he can't. Carmichael Hunt at acting half. He runs across field, straightens over. Carmichael Hunt, has he won the game for Brisbane? Russell Smith is going to check.
Let's have a look, please, Steve. We're checking to see if there was an obstruction there.
Carmichael Hunt may have scored the try that wins the game for Brisbane.
As he said, Russell Smith just wants to have a look and see if there's an obstruction there. So Carmichael Hunt drifting across field. I don't think it's an obstruction. They didn't get in the way of... The players were still there, able to make the tackle. So interesting to see what Steve Clark thinks.
He did run behind 2 of his men though. And there it is, the try to Carmichael Hunt. And it's a long way back for the Cowboys now. Paul Bowman speaking to the referee.
Well, that's why I checked it, Paul, just to be sure, but it looks okay. Looks okay on the replay, mate.
There we see the replay. Carmichael Hunt drifting across. As you can see there, Shane Tronk just going sideways on his own line. That's why Carmichael Hunt found the space. But I tell you what, Carmichael Hunt's awarded the try, but you can put that down to the carry by Sean Berrigan in the tackle previously.
Brett Seymour looking to make it 3 from 3. Didn't kick that one as nicely as the one from touch, but it's still worth the same number of points. 18 points to 6.
Here we see once again Carmichael Hunt. Just the show there, and you could Shane Tronk, as I mentioned previously, just not coming off square. When you're going up on a bloke who can step like Carmichael Hunt, you must stay square on him.
Less than 10 minutes remaining, and the Cowboys 2 converted tries, You would have to think the way they've been playing, particularly this last 20 minutes,
That's one.
that is just not quite there for them. Thorne.
Movement.
Now Barry Berrigan inside to Tony Carroll. Taken by O'Donnell. And also Paul Bowman.
Hold. Go.
Maguire throwing the dummy.
4. Movement, Carl. Hold. Go.
Thorne. Now the Cowboys have made more tackles in the game than Brisbane. At one stage, Brisbane led that by about 70. A kick straight there to Ty Williams. Inside his own 10, Matty Bowen. Can he spark them? Not with a kick chase like that from Brisbane he can't.
This half, the Broncos have been finding space with their kicks. Darren Lockyer earlier on. Now Brett Seymour, they're starting to vary the kicks up. You see got an extra kick in their step as well.
Smith. Wrapped up on his own 20 by 3 of the Broncos.
Hold. Go.
Payne. Towards the 40.
4. Movement. Hold. Go.
Singh throws an awkward pass for Thurston, who's hit there by Seymour. Gets quick hands, though, on the outside to Matty Bowen, who finds Paul Bowman. Was that stolen or did he lose it? Play on, says the referee. And so the Broncos come up with possession.
Surrender. Hold, boys, hold. 0.
Matt. Payne to make the tackle. Webb in there also, as is Justin Smith. Berrigan. Now to Thorne.
2.
And there's Faumu getting ready to come back for North Queensland. Maguire inside to Stagg. Solid tackle from Carl Webb.
They've done a great job, the bench players for the Broncos. Wayne Bennett has kept Darren Mapp and Casey Maguire for a lot of the game. But he's brought them on at the perfect time when the Cowboys are at their most tired.
Movement. Hold. Go. 2 early, 9.
Here comes back to Seymour with a field goal, and he's kicked it. Didn't get much higher than the crossbar, and Brett Seymour has wrapped the game up if it was ever in doubt for Brisbane.
Well, Brett Seymour, I tell you what, he's put his hand up under pressure. He hails from up this way around the Mackay region, actually grew up on an onion farm. I'll tell you what, he's really put his hand up tonight under pressure.
Isn't it amazing how the game's changed? It's in the space of 10 minutes, we're looking at 6-all, and then all of a sudden we've got a 13-point lead by a team who just does it to so many other teams, on a regular basis.
In front, Matt Singh.
Offside, Matt Singh in front of the kicker. And so a penalty to Brisbane back in the centre of the halfway line. And so it's certainly coming apart for the Cowboys, whose 9-game winning streak here in Townsville is coming to an end. And both these teams with the bye next week leading into State of Origin 1. And again, the Broncos come from behind.
Just their class players, your Webkes and your Sivana Seavers, they just stood up tonight. They've done a mountain of work. But the real good professional players, the seasoned veterans, are the ones that pull you out of these sort of games.
Thorne up towards the 10-metre line. They've got another try than the Brisbane Broncos. Matt, the defence not moving up on this occasion. Stagg, a couple of metres out from the goal line. In line with that right hand upright. Barry Berrigan. Thorne, he's knocked it on. The referee finally signals. And so the scrum will pack 10 out from the Cowboys line with 5 to go.
The Broncos trying to get Brad Thorne one-on-one with someone on the line there as his rugby union days, trying to get low. He's a very hard man to stop at the best of times, but they've done a good job there, the Cowboys.
Bowman towards the 20. This is Jensen. I do think too that loss of Josh Hannay certainly took a little bit of spark off their bench, the Cowboys, with Rod Jensen having to play out in the centres and not be able to be as actively involved as he normally is.
Yeah, you talk about, like we talked about earlier on, your experienced players are the ones that get you out of these games. You lose a player the calibre of Josh Hannay. Very good attacker, very good line runner in attack, and also obviously his goal kicking. You know, it takes a massive chunk out of your team.
Stagg injured for Brisbane, slow to his feet. Scott Minto under the kick, takes it 10 out from his own line. What a great chase here from North Queensland, but Ty Williams makes the tackle. Carmichael Hunt, David Stagg coming off, Corey Parker going back on. That's the last interchange for Brisbane. Hodges.
You could hear the Bronco players then telling Justin Hodges to hold the ball. Now, it's just so important still, with 3.5 minutes to go, to finish the game off on a positive, not to come up with any silly mistakes.
Parker. Here's Lockyer with the kick, the fine touch. And just to wind the clock down.
All right, mate. Where's your mark, boys?
And certainly an air of resignation from the Cowboys there. Mitchell Sargent, the look on his face says it all. But a courageous win for the Brisbane Broncos.
Stay in there, stay in, Sean. Give us 5. Get it in. Get it in. Out.
Jensen across field.
That's one. Move. Hold. Go.
You know, it's interesting also, we talk about the Cowboys have either won by a lot or they've either been beaten by a fair score this season. They got into an arm wrestle with a team that's used to getting into arm wrestles, the Broncos, and they've just shown their experience to come out on top in these games.
Had their chances, didn't they, in the first half, the Cowboys?
Yeah, they did, especially with the amount of possession they had also. You've got to be able to use that possession to your advantage. And
here's Thurston, now to Matty Bowen. Tries to get on the outside of Sean Berrigan's slip. We've seen a number of players slip tonight. There's not a great deal of dew around. Thurston, the shepherd, going from one side of the field to the other. Faumu, Bowman, Ty Williams, little chip over the top. How's the bounce to Shepherd? Can't pick it up, but Carmichael Hunt does.
Good composure there by the Broncos also. Ty Williams putting in a hurry kick, which you've got to do at this time of the game. A lot of Bronco players around there. They've just shown the enthusiasm to finish this game off.
2. Movement. Hold.
5 short of halfway. Minto. Petro Sivanasiva on the bench with Costigan, Stagg and Shane Webke's there as well. So he's two starting front rowers having a breather as the clock winds down.
They need the breather too because they've both had absolutely massive games for the Broncos tonight.
Lockyer inside to Casey Maguire, fullback to beat. Matty Bowen comes up with the tackle with the assistance of Justin Smith. Last tackle here for the Brisbane Broncos. It comes to Lockyer. Lockyer puts it in the air for Leon Bott. Matty Singh is there. He's lost it. Sean Berrigan gets a gift try to finish the game. And the Brisbane Broncos are in again. They lead by 23 points to 6. And Sean Berrigan gets his 11th try of the season.
Well, it's not a game of football without Sean Berrigan scoring a try. The best part about this try is we see Leon Bott going up to challenge one of the great takers in Matty Singh. Ball drops back beautifully for Sean Berrigan. Best part of that try also, Matty Singh actually trying to knock that back, which is the smart option to do. Best part about that try, I should say, is Casey Maguire not trying to push the pass after he got tackled by Matty Bowen. Keep the pressure on. They keep the flow of the game. Come up with the result. Making silly decisions is the ones that's going to hurt you, and the Broncos have shown this second half that they're going to make the least amount of silly mistakes.
Here's the Cowboys, disappointment for them there. Back-to-back losses for North Queensland. They were leading the competition. And back-to-back losses. And their first loss in 10 in Townsville. And Sean Berrigan, that was his 9th try against the North Queensland side. Second all-time against North Queensland. 9 tries against one side is a pretty hefty strike rate. And there's the full-time siren in the background, and Brett Seymour just misses to the left. And so full-time in Townsville. The Queensland Derby once again goes to the Broncos. They beat the Cowboys 23 points to 6.